Car chases are dangerous and unpredictable. Viewer discretion advised.
This bright yellow Ford Mustang.
Yeah, the suspect is apparently wanted for grand theft out of Ventura County. And Desmond Shaw is live in SkyCal with more. Where are you, Des? And where is this car?
Chauncey.
Go ahead, Des.
I'm ready.
Hey, Des.
Yeah, I got you. We're ready to go.
Okay, Des.
This yellow car.
All right, we're waiting for Des to get those little technical. There you are. Are you on the air, Des?
Hi, Pat. Yeah, sorry about that, Pat. Little wires crossed there. Live television. Here we go. It's a pursuit that came out of Ventura County with this yellow Mustang here, a very capable vehicle, and we have confirmed assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer. So it sounds like this vehicle may have actually bumped into a Ventura County Sheriff's deputy. So, you know, what brought their attention to this vehicle? You can see the damage there as well. As we're kind of staring into the sun, we have a little bit of a cloud layer as well. But you can see the damage to the front end of this vehicle. And, you know, when something like that happens with the authorities, they are not going to let one of these cars get away. That is for sure. As you can see, the desperation now. We're on the southbound 405, rush hour, Friday afternoon. Worst kind of place for a pursuit like this. And you can see now getting on the right-hand shoulder to evade the authorities. Someone else that barely had room to get by them right there. So there's still more to this story that I know we're trying to piece together about what actually was the original want in all of this that caused them to run into that the Ventura County Sheriff's deputy. We believe it happened in Camarillo. But you can see now, as I believe CHP may be getting ready to take this one over, southbound 405 in some extremely heavy traffic. Pat, Chauncey, and Mike.
Well, you know what? I'm looking at this here, the way that person is driving, and we have grand theft. Right. Which would make sense since, you know, if this is your car, you wouldn't necessarily be driving like that. Yeah,
well, so here's the thing, though. The grand theft portion of it, and we're working on getting this totally confirmed with the Ventura County Sheriff's Office. Angelina on our assignment desk is actually on the phone with them right now. But it sounds like this was grand theft at a store. Ventura County has a very robust shoplifting type of task force, organized crime type of task force. Sounds like there may have been some kind of that thing involved. And during their attempted escape, that's when they had the run-in with the deputy, which would make this assault with a deadly weapon. So it sounds like there may be both things at play here. This grand theft, which was from apparently a Target, it sounds like, maybe in Camarillo, that led to initially these deputies trying to get this car, and then that's when the run-in with the sheriff's deputy happened, and now that's why we're also assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer. Now, Ventura County Sheriff, they actually had a Black Hawk flying over this for a long time, up until we got here on the southbound 405, and then another helicopter, I believe it's LAPD, Des, correct me if I'm wrong, jumped in, and they're in this as well. And I do hear the CHP helicopter is now lifting out of Fullerton to come get involved in this as well. Now, the thing is, they had been asking for CHP to take over because one of the Ventura County Sheriff's deputies' cruisers had overheated. Obviously, we are now well away from Ventura County as well. So I don't know. It sounds like CHP is trying to get in position to get behind this, but right now we do know that they are tracking it from the air.
Yeah, we can't go over the top, huh?
Okay, and as they get closer, I mean, it just passed Venice Boulevard, right? Washington Place, they're going to be running into LAX pretty soon.
LAX, and I think Des is also probably fighting off a cloud layer as well. I know we are just east of the 405, right, Des?
Yes, well, we're southbound here near the 90, where we're not going to be able to probably proceed much farther. We might have to go around because the problem is there's some clouds over LAX, and when there's clouds there, they won't even let us go over the top of the airport like we normally can, which is already kind of a pain as it is to do even on a clear day. So we're probably going to have to go all the way to the 110 to go around this. We'll stick with this shot for a bit here until we're forced to make that decision. I mean, this could be a problem for law enforcement helicopters as well. So it's very troubling that there's no law enforcement directly behind this person right now, because now you don't have anyone from the ground, and at the rate we're going, you're not going to have any eyes from the air on this either. Obviously going into extremely sensitive airspace. So here as we cross the 90, let's see what they do here at this. But they seem pretty content to stick with this 405. We've already come out of Ventura on the 101. There was a lot of traffic there. I was probably on the right-hand shoulder getting around all that traffic, and now pretty much exclusively on the shoulder here, southbound 405 to try to avoid all this traffic. And it's going to be this, if they do stick with the freeway, it's going to be like this on and off all the way down, I think, to Long Beach. That's pretty typical on a Friday afternoon. So you can see the clouds that we're beginning to deal with here. Just going to stick with this a little bit longer, and then we may have to drop out a bit and go via South LA to get to the south side of LAX here in just a couple moments.
All right, Des. Mike, you were talking about the, that original incident, the grand theft, accusations at the Target. Were they already tracking the suspects, or did they allegedly commit this grand theft and then police started chasing?
That's what's hard to tell. We're trying to get that information from the Ventura County Sheriff's Office. You have these task force that kind of these retail crime task force, and it's really hard to know if this is somebody they've been watching or if they were just in the right place, the right time, and caught it in the act, or what exactly went down here. But that's some of the information that we're trying to kind of gain from them right now. There is a CHP fixed wing that is coming to get over this. Sometimes they can deal with the cloud layers, the marine layers, a little bit better than the helicopters can. So, I mean, they're still coming over Bellflower right now, though, so it's unclear if they'll get here in time to keep eyes on it, if that LAPD helicopter that's there is going to be able to stay low enough.
You know what, Mike, did we confirm more than one suspect?
We haven't heard. I think we only know about just the driver at this point. It's, the windows are tinted. It's kind of hard to see in. So we're trying to get some of those details from Ventura County as well. And I do hear CHP is trying to get in place, but CHP is not immune to the traffic either, right? Yeah. They're still trying to deal with all of this Friday afternoon 405 traffic. The 405 is never a good time, really, at all. So they're trying to get in position as well.
All right, Des, and you were talking about here at 520 on the 405, when we take a look at how this person is driving, do you think at any point we'll come to a standstill here because it's right here in the middle of rush hour?
Yeah, I mean, there's a shoulder here that they can use to get around. Like, that's what they've been doing to avoid all that. And as long as there's a shoulder, it looks like that's going to be their strategy, to put some distance between them and law enforcement. We're trying to figure out with LAX right now if they're actually going to let us make the Sepulveda transition, we call it, basically kind of go over the top of the airport. We are communicating with that, but you see these kind of on and off clouds right now that we're dealing with. It's not a super thick marine layer right here, but it is starting to creep in towards LAX, really kind of complicating things. And then you've got a little bit of glare with the sun, with the sunset as well. But it's going to be this on again, off again pattern with the traffic. Like I said, most of the way down towards Long Beach, and that's I would really like to see if the authorities could get behind this person soon to prevent them. And we are getting off here at La Tijera, it looks like, which could take us directly to LAX. So let's see what they do here. First time we've been off the freeway since we've been covering this. That
was my next question, Des. Have they been on freeways for, well, they have for most of this pursuit, but this is, as you say, the first time making that right turn on La Tierra Boulevard. And as you say, they're certainly headed toward LAX. No question about that. They're in the Westchester area right now. Did they just blow through some lights? Couldn't really tell.
I think so. And I hate to say it, but this could be part of the strategy of this suspect. If this is not their first rodeo, and if this is, what we're hearing, this could possibly be an experienced criminal, then, they may very well know what they're doing by going, I mean, we've covered a lot of area, so, why are they suddenly going towards LAX? We can put two and two together on what they may be trying to do around there. So we'll just, again, have to stick with this as long as we can. And see if the authorities can get behind this, because things are about to get very difficult for us as well as the law enforcement chopper, which, yes, Mike, they're right there on cue. That is indeed LAPD.
Mike, anything from CHP?
Well, yeah, that's what I was just going to say. There is a unit that is close. There was a unit that had visual on the freeway. Then he got off. The unit got off behind him. So it may not be in this shot, but there is a CHP unit that at least had eyes on him a couple of times. So hopefully that CHP unit is not much further and can kind of catch up. The vehicle, they're saying they have not lit it up. The CHP unit hasn't. So he may still be trying to kind of get into place here to get to a point where they can light it up. But if we're running into issues with fog and airspace and all of that, if there's a ground unit behind him, at least somebody will be able to keep eyes on him for a little bit.
Yeah, he's now on Airport Boulevard. Not much traffic. And what's next, what comes to mind is, wow, they could possibly do a pit maneuver if they don't have as much traffic. And he seems to be, well, I was going to say going slower than he was on the freeway, certainly, but not down to 30 miles per hour. We know they generally don't like to do anything over 30 miles per hour.
Oh.
Okay, wow. Did they hit that car, or was that just close?
That was really, really close. They might have clipped that vehicle there, might have traded a little bit of pain. So let's see here. We are getting very, very close to LAX now at this point. And still, yeah, I mean, boy, just all kinds of risks that this suspect is taking, and you're still not seeing, any law enforcement now that we're even off of the freeway and, in lanes of a roadway and some, it's kind of surprisingly open streets that you would hope that they would be able to come in and engage more quickly. Look at that, really close through that red light. And that person had to slam on the brakes there. Pretty freaky for them. So Southbourne Airport right at Century, but you know what? Making the right would have taken us to the airport. This is taking us away from the airport. So now we're headed back towards the 405, and this is going to head towards SoFi Stadium. Very interesting. I would have expected to maybe see them, go into the airport there. So we'll see what they do here as we're now eastbound on Century Boulevard, all of a sudden heading away from LAX.
All right, and you still don't see law enforcement behind the vehicle? It's hard to miss it if it's clear, this bright yellow color. So what about that fixed wing? You wonder, is that overhead yet?
I was looking on the radar for him. He's getting close, I think. They do have, I thought I saw a sheriff's helicopter sneak in here as well. So they've still, that LAPD helicopter was still down low, so they've still got eyes on him there. And I hear a siren on my scanner here, so there may be a CHP unit that is trying to light him up here pretty quick. This will give him some time to catch up. All right, there's a motor unit right there, Des, on the right, that's pulling up behind him. They don't generally like to chase people, but...
Oh, I see.
Oh, there's the CHP unit. Yeah. There it is. Oh, it's out of the car.
All right, well, they're there. They are finally caught up.
Yeah,
all right.
What were they doing?
That's well, just because we're at a stop, they were kind of getting out with guns drawn, just in case there was a situation where the suspect was going to get out and run, and leave the vehicle there, but not the case. So we are continuing, and now we're, definitely in some pretty heavy traffic here at Century Boulevard. Very busy at rush hour, and are we going to get back on the freeway, or are we going to head deeper into South LA? That would not be particularly great for us either. I mean, we'd still be dealing with LAX's airspace, so get behind the Westin Hotel, a couple of these hotels right here, and kind of complicated. Hang on here while we deal with LAX and all these tall buildings, and we'll see what the suspect does next.
And Desmond, we're talking about this Ford, a car that goes, this Mustang that goes, quite fast. That stop right there at that light with the traffic buildup, that was the first time that this suspect has, been stopped, correct?
Freeway,
I mean, he's
Des.
been.
Sorry.
What'd you say, Mike?
I was just letting Des know he's through the freeway over here on the right. Yeah, there's that motor unit.
I see the motor unit there.
Yeah, there he is right there.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so he did continue. And right, so this is still a problem for us here with the LAX. I mean, this is like right on the final approach, right here at this section as they continue. This could be part of the strategy as well. This is many pursuits have been lost in the South LA area, where you can see that motor unit.
Yeah,
though, they are really
right there. Yeah.
So, yeah, they are right there, but that's really nerve-wracking for them.
Yes.
Especially with the way that this suspect has been driving. It's just very, very dangerous situation for that motor unit there as they make a southbound turn now on a little side street. So let's, kind of hope that they just are going to get out and run right here, just because this is such a menace to the public and has been for so long. But we're getting a pretty good look at the damage there to that vehicle. So it looks like they, probably hit the sheriff with the front. Actually, I can't tell. It looks like that it's just miscolored, like a mismatched bumper. I think the damage was to the front driver's side of the bumper from what we saw earlier.
And I'm sure that makes we know that law enforcement even more nervous because he's in a residential area right now. Looking at all those homes on either side of the streets as he picked up speed. Now he's whoa, that was close. What is that, Des? Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. On Hawthorne.
Yep. Another super busy street here with getting some pretty high speeds, but we've got a lot of signals out here. You're going to have people walking around, and again, we are right here at pretty much the busiest time of day on a Friday afternoon, pretty much the busiest time of the week that you could try to get in a pursuit with law enforcement. So it really just amplifies the danger so much to everyone involved in this. Getting a pretty good look here inside, first time into a parking lot. Are they going to ditch the vehicle? Seeing a little bit of that damage here as well. Actually, now I honestly can't tell. It's just the bumper is a totally different color.
Yeah, they're so dark.
Nope. Here we go. Back out onto Lenox and Hawthorne Boulevard. But just zigzagging all over the place. Oh, that was super, super close right there. But that motor unit is still right there So authorities are still pretty sticky with this suspect.
And real quick, you guys, I just want to let you know, we have heard that there are 2 people in the car.
I was trying to make it out.
Yeah, that's what we were just told. And actually, CHP has asked the air unit to call it and have those ground units back off a little bit, just because of how hectic the street is and how crazy this guy's driving. I know that motor unit is still in the area.
Is this something happening? Oh, he's backing up. Seems to be getting even more desperate. Would you say?
Yeah, very panicked, very kind of just trying to kind of flying by the seat of their pants about how to get through this traffic. And now you can see they are definitely kind of keeping their distance right here, out again with weapons drawn. But you can tell the suspect just getting extremely agitated in all this traffic. But what do you expect?
Yeah.
Los Angeles, it's a 5:30 on a Friday. This is definitely what you're going to be finding pretty much anywhere you go.
Mike, how long have police been chasing this suspect? Do we know what time this all started?
Let's see. It started out in the Camarillo area, and I would say on the right side of your screen, that's that close call we just saw as they went through Hawthorne and Lenox. But Chauncey, I'm going to say probably about 45 minutes, I would say, by the time they got from Camarillo all the way to where we are now here in Inglewood. So yeah, it's been going for a while. Ventura's County Sheriff's helicopter was up over it. It was that Black Hawk actually that followed it all the way through down to the 405 before the LAPD ship came in and took over. But yeah, it's been going for a while now. And
it's busy on the 101 freeway southbound as well, coming from Camarillo at this time of day. There's no question about that.
Yeah, pretty much anywhere that he has chosen to go, he has run into this kind of heavy traffic. Even the surface streets around the airport and into Inglewood are always kind of busy as well.
And he exited off La Tierra. That's the first time that we saw him on surface streets, and now he has continued around the Inglewood area, managed to get very, very close to LAX at one point, as Desmond said, but he was almost close to the approach and then made a turn.
I'm back on the freeway.
Now, is that what he's doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's off
we're going east. Yeah, eastbound 105 it looks like, and this is going to be just probably as bad as the 405 was, maybe even worse. This section here is, if they're going to continue, this should take us to the eastbound 105. It's really, really wide.
It's a really long ramp.
Lane right here, really long. Super long on-ramp right here. But we're probably going to see more of that shoulder driving because there is always a lot of traffic stacked up on the eastbound 105, especially trying to get through the 110, which is what we're going to be approaching. But so now,
right
CHP, they are right there with the cruiser. This is the closest that we've seen them here. So let's see how the suspect handles this big bout of LA traffic here, eastbound 105, coming out of South LA and Hawthorne.
Interesting, he hasn't made a move to go in traffic. He's staying in that, as soon as I said it, there he goes.
Oh, wow.
That was close.
Oh, yeah.
That's reckless.
Yeah.
And Mike, when we talk about a suspect assault with a deadly, weapon, talk about that situation again. You said something might have happened as they were trying to get away, some kind of interaction with deputies.
Yeah, so assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer is what they were originally telling us this was about, and it was because of some kind of run-in with responding deputies. Usually, 99% of the time during these chases, it's because the suspect car hit a patrol car or a sheriff's car, and the vehicle itself is considered the deadly weapon. Yeah. So obviously, though, we're working on to figure out the extent of that collision, but we don't see any huge major damage to the suspect car. So in theory, the crash probably wasn't too severe, but if he used that to try to get them out of the way or anything like that, that's when he gets those charges upgraded to assault with a deadly weapon.
And this is what we're talking about, upgraded charges, even from the grand theft, of course, and now you add that.
Yeah.
And felony evading, reckless driving.
Yeah.
So whoever this person is and whoever's with them, maybe they know that when they do get caught.
Yeah, and look, if there was a retail task force that was onto these guys, they may grand theft is obviously a non-violent crime, and the ADW charge very quickly escalated it to a violent crime. If they ultimately get charged by that when all the dust settles. But yeah, felony evading, felony assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer, and grand theft is a felony.
And just imagine if that's your car.
Yeah, right.
And you're watching this, seriously.
Now, I do want to be clear, though. We have not heard that the car is stolen. The plates, they haven't run the plates saying it's stolen or anything like that. The want was the grand theft from the store. they allegedly stole enough merchandise from the store, which is what kicked into the grand
Got
theft.
it. All right.
Yeah.
I thought you meant they stole the car.
No, we haven't heard that yet. I mean, I don't know that they've gotten close enough to run a plate to figure out if it's stolen or not with the way this guy's driving. But yeah, the grand theft, we were told it was coming from the theft from the store.
And if that is your car, though, I mean, that's a nice vehicle.
Yeah, oh,
and
yeah.
you're just taking these chances and backing up with officers, exchanging paint with other vehicles. Yeah. Well, that tends to make me think that.
Not to mention, if this is the suspect's car, it very likely will be impounded and they'll lose it after all of this.
All right. The damage here on the car, do we know if that is for sure from that run-in with police? Because it looked like just a discoloration of the bumper, almost like it was getting ready for a paint job or something, or maybe an accident before.
On the 110.
On the shoulder. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit hard to tell, obviously, because we didn't see it happen. Yeah. But when you look at the front, it does look like there on the top hood, there's some stuff missing. Looks like there's also a wire or a rope or something hanging out the front of it. So it's hard to tell. Des, are we transitioning freeways?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we are. We're going to the southbound 110 now. So yeah, but hugging that right-hand shoulder, and you saw again what they were doing there on the freeway. Just wondering, this. It's just very risky for the suspect. When we talk about it, and we actually watched it happen in a recent pursuit where they're driving on the right-hand shoulder, and they end up, running into some debris or something that punctures a tire, and then they ended up, basically spike stripping themselves. So we just dealing with a little bit of airspace stuff right here, but trying to get a better shot for you here as we're southbound on the 110. This is going to be a much more wide open roadway. So now we're really going to see probably, the capability of this car and how fast and how risky this suspect wants to be. This section of the 110 southbound from here towards the ports this time of the day is pretty free and clear, certainly compared to what we were dealing with on the 405 and the 105. And you can see we're up to about 90 miles an hour here across all kinds of lanes. So still now, the danger has been amplified once again.
Yeah, the viewers are, if you're just turning in, we're watching this yellow Mustang, and it was the subject of a grand theft that happened at a Target store in Ventura County. This person, this driver, is also now wanted for assault with a deadly weapon after apparently bumping into sheriff's deputy's vehicle while they were trying to pursue him or have him stop, but he did not. He continued on the 101 South, 405 South to the 105, and now he's on the southbound 110. And we did see him exit at La Tierra Boulevard, where he remained in the area of Inglewood or around LAX for quite some time, but then got back on the freeway trying to make an escape. And we haven't really seen a lot of action in terms of law enforcement because probably as crazy as this person was driving, they had to back off for a while on the ground and been following from the air. And Desmond, he is okay. Now he touched paint there. Looks like it. He's squeezing, trying to squeeze through traffic.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be making contact here.
Yep.
And you can see just clearing the vehicles out of their way here. Off the freeway at Redondo Beach Boulevard, but we're going to get right back on. Oh, CHP almost setting up like they wanted to try to pit him there, but unfortunately just too fast now, way too fast, up to 60 miles an hour, and that's really going to be a problem. Actually, look at that. What did I say about losing a tire? Yep, they lost the rear tire, probably from what I was talking about. Driving on the shoulder, probably picking up some debris or something like that. So now we're down a tire, and you can see stuff flying all over the place. It's starting to actually damage the vehicle. The rubber is just flailing all over. So, and this is a rear-wheel drive car as well. So that's very problematic for this suspect. So let's see how they're going to handle this. So they're still going to try to drive crazy now, down at least one tire. Yeah, look at it. It's crazy, all the damage that's done underneath. Did they?
Yeah, look at that
actually, now I'm wondering if this was almost looks like a spike strip, doesn't it, Mike? Like sticking out underneath?
Yeah, kind of. I'm trying to go back and look at the video and see if I can notice any of that. It's also, you can see the black that's all around the rim there. It looks like that's the tires shredded, but still attached and spinning. So I can't tell if it popped out some of the undercarriage, and that's what's laying down under there. If that,
there's that. We're playing this back on the right-hand side of your screen, where you could see him really trying to squeeze through all of that traffic. CHP right behind him, and as Desmond and Mike, you wonder if there was a spike strip, where would it have happened?
Yeah, I'm trying to play some of that back right now and see if I see where he hit anything or.
And he drove a lot on the shoulder, so I mean, that damage could also happen from that without the spike strips. Because I don't see.
Well, he's really ragged now. He's almost like. Is he slowing down, Desmond? It looks like it.
A little bit here. So we're on that last stub of the westbound 91 that turns into Artesia Boulevard as we get into Gardena, and now onto the right-hand shoulder of that street. But yeah, I mean, we've got.
Oh boy. This
car's got a lot of issues now, and just look at all of that stuff.
Oh, there we
and
go.
they're out and running, or not running yet, but it looks like they want to get out, and I think they're just going to surrender. All right. After all of that, it looks like we are going to see the 2 suspects surrender. They realized just how dangerous that was getting with that tire. They didn't want anything else to do with this. And so now we have the 2 people abruptly being taken into custody after that dangerous pursuit at the height of rush hour traffic across Ventura and LA County, coming to an end here right at the end of the westbound 91, where the 91 turns into Artesia Boulevard. CHP taking these 2 suspects into custody.
And of course, they're going to check the vehicle for any other, not just damage, but check the trunk and see what could possibly be inside. And as far as we know right now, they were still wanted for that grand theft and assault with a deadly weapon. And law enforcement certainly doesn't look too happy right now.
Yeah.
Considering.
All right, and when we talk about all the accusations that have, been placed upon these suspects and the chase and all of that, what's happened here? You think they thought they could really get away when you spend so much time chasing them? Then it ends right here in a few seconds.
Okay, I was going to ask Desmond or Mike though. You see how they separated them?
Yeah.
Is that normal for them to just, if it's more than one suspect, to have one so they won't hear what the other one is saying?
Yeah, because they're going to want to interview them about, who knows what. And the passenger, in a lot of situations, will try to say, oh, I didn't know anything. I was just in the car.
Okay. All right. Well, Desmond, code 4.
Yep, code 4, Gardena.
All right. Thanks so much, Desmond and Mike.